So hey guys, welcome to another Warframe video, and today I want to talk about the newest augment for Necros Creeping Terrify, which is an augment for his Terrify ability, which upon activation will fear 20 enemies within 15 meters for 25 seconds, and it will also reduce their armor by 20% for the duration of the fear. Adding power strength will modify the amount of enemies one cast of Terrify can affect, and it will also affect the armor reduction. Additionally, the duration is of course affected by power duration, and the range of Terrify is affected by power range. This ability can also be recast while there are enemies already affected by Terrify, and this will prioritize enemies that are not affected by it. The Creeping Terrify augment introduces a 60% slow for enemies affected by Terrify, which is affected by power strength. Now, my introduction may have seemed like a bit of an overkill, but I really wanted to highlight A, how Terrify works, and B, how both Terrify and Creeping Terrify are affected by different mods. And that's because getting good results out of Creeping Terrify is rather difficult. You are basically always going to be short on something. Whether it is power strength, which cripples the amount of enemies that you can fear, the armor reduction is also going to be weaker, and the slow isn't going to be as good. Power duration, so it's not going to last as long. Power efficiency, so it's going to be really expensive. Or power range, because Terrify by default doesn't have a great amount of range, so you really need to pump it up if you want to fear entire rooms filled with enemies. It's kind of like balancing Ivar's Prowl for farming, where you have to get good efficiency, good duration, good range, and you have to get at least 100% power strength with it. And that means that if you want to get good results out of this augment, you really have to commit to it, and you have to run a Creeping Terrify build. If you try to simply slap it onto a Desecrate build or a Shadows of the Dead build, it's not gonna work very well. People like to compare Creeping Terrify to Nova's Molecular Prime, and while I can see why people would do that, it is an unfair comparison because Molecular Prime doesn't require you to give up a mod slot for it. And that's why I think this augment is bad, because it requires a mod slot and it doesn't give enough in return, and on top of that you have to build around it. If you don't, it's not gonna be very effective. If Creeping Terrify wasn't an augment and it was a simple switch that would change Terrify from a fear into a slow, that would be good. But giving up a mod slot just to slow down a feared enemy, that's not worth it in my opinion. But then again, this is just my opinion that I formed on my personal experience with the mod, so if you want to pick it up, you can get it by either reaching the rank of Partner under the Parent Sequence or the rank of Exalted under the Red Veil, and it will cost you 25,000 standing. Alternatively, you can trade for it with other players by using Platinum. And by the way, I would love it if you guys could point me towards a build that's better because of Creeping Terrify and could not be done just as well or even better without it. Because honestly, I really don't see a point in running this augment outside of a pure Creeping Terrify build that would somehow be better than simply running Nova with a Molecular Prime build. And that's pretty much everything I wanted to say about this augment, so I thank you very much for watching as always, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.